Folks, welcome into sportsbookreview.com. It's Wednesday afternoon, and it's time to talk some Major League Baseball. And I have to say, we're going to talk about some games that are in play, but a few cancellations. And I know Major League Baseball, they don't want to let the Phillies eat. Phillies dropped 17 runs. Like, you ain't playing the next day. You better get back to what you like to do with 1, 2, or 3 runs. But here we are on a Wednesday. I'm Donnie Seymour for Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. Let's have some fun kicking it off today. One early game, but before we get to that, wild day yesterday in baseball, Jason.
Yeah, lots of really random scores. The Mets obviously blew it in the ninth, had a 4-0 lead, and then it went 4-4 in the ninth, and of course in the 10th, a foul ball that was called fair. I'm biased here, of course. It was a close one, but I still think it was a foul ball for Reddick, and that was the end for the Mets. But lots of weird scores last night. Kyle can talk to you about the Giants-Angels game. That was a weird one. The Phillies scoring 17 runs, very weird. Just all around weird day in baseball.
No, it certainly was. And, flipping it back over yesterday, my value menu plays here. One was an easy one with the Royals. One was kind of odd, where the Minnesota Twins had a lot of chances against a bad starter on the mound and a bad bullpen for the Baltimore Orioles. Weren't able to get that 5th run to at least force a push. But I have to say one thing. Live wagers once again. I mean, who are we kidding here? Kyle will tell you, the Reds bullpen is atrocious. So somehow the Reds bullpen was supposed to get 9 outs with the bottom of their bullpen against the Philadelphia Phillies, who already put 10 runs on the board, went live on a team total for the Phillies over 11, ended up with 17, Kyle. Free money's out here in the streets.
Yeah, the live bet. I mean, how many times can we tell people, if you're betting baseball, if something makes you nervous, like, oh, okay, man, I like the Cardinals tonight, but I don't know if I like that 4.5, well, just wait a few innings. You're going to get this ridiculous number that you're basically free rolling that makes no sense. Last night was weird. I went one-on-one on the plays of the day. The Nationals hit their team total, of course. The Giants did not show up in those first 5 innings. We did get the nerfy Miami, Toronto. And then I had some plus money on the Rays first 5. They get up 3-0, 4th inning. Of course, the Yankees score 3 runs because I blasted them and said they can't score before the 5th inning. So that's what happened. Very interesting day yesterday in baseball and in sports. And I'm happy to be here with you, Jason. Not so much Donnie after all this preposterous, just ludicrous Michael Jordan, LeBron takes. So I don't know. Right now he's kind of my enemy. And this isn't a fake rivalry either like the last one he had. This one's fucking real.
Like, this is a good one because, Kyle's only upset because he took the king last night knowing he should have had a Herculean effort and lost money. Now, it would have been impressive, Kyle, if you came on this show today and said, my best bet, LeBron James under last night. And look at that. I said, you know what? Kyle's got it going on. But the fact that he chose greatness yesterday, we're not going to hold that against him here. Let's keep it moving. In-game live updates. Look at that. We have 3 of them below us. See where we're talking? Philadelphia, Cincinnati. I ain't see it up there. All right. Chicago White Sox. I don't see that game up here either, but I do see the Chicago Cubs here in the bottom of the 1st inning with 1 runner on today in this matchup. Anybody have any wagers in this early matchup today? Jason, I'll start with you first. Or if you don't, what did you see from this game, which may be why you stayed away?
Yeah, I'm not on this game. Lamet, obviously, just coming back from an injury, hasn't went more than 3 innings in any start this season since his injury, so you don't really expect much out of him. And you're nervous when it comes down to that. The Padres, they're a terrific bullpen, but they have been overworked throughout the entire season. So you get a little bit worried there, of course. And Alzolay, he's been pretty solid lately. So I do like Alzolay, and I thought that the Cubs were the better team. But, if Lamet goes a little bit deeper and can go 5 innings or whatever, and we know he's a solid pitcher, there's some potential there as well. So I do think I like the Cubs more in this game, but it was too hard of a wager to figure out there.
Yeah, Cubs playing some good baseball here lately. As we take a look, Kyle, bring it into the conversation between the Padres and the Cubs. The one thing that always sticks out regardless, I know the wind blowing in, but a 7 at Wrigley Field always is tempting.
Mm-hmm. It really is, but I'm actually leaning the under on that because you're not just talking about 2, we got the Karate Kid, Daniel-san, Lamet. I mean, Jason, you need to call him the Karate Kid every time you talk about him. Not Lamet. His name is the Karate Kid. Alzolay, they're both, solid, above average right-handed pitchers. I think Lamet has really good stuff when he's healthy. And then these are 2, in terms of ERA, the 2 best bullpens in baseball. So runs could be at a premium in this game. I didn't bet it, but if I was, I would take the under. I just think these starters and these bullpens can shut the other lineups down. I stayed away from it. I don't have any wagers in this game, but that would be the way I'd look early on.
And take a look at some of the live in-game totals here at the FanDuel Sportsbook for the Cubs. 3.5 as a team total is plus 104. They're not even out of the first inning and have a runner on base. Take a look at the Padres, who came out of the first inning, didn't score any runs. They have 8 more at-bats. They're already at a 2.5 at minus 125. It's amazing stuff when you take a look at Wrigley Field. Again, the wind is blowing in, but that doesn't mean they can't hit singles and there's walks and there's errors out here. You're talking about 3 runs here over 8 innings. We'll see how that plays out as the afternoon moves on. Let's get to some of the marquee games on the card today. And how about some afternoon baseball? Jason, very upset with the Mets last night. Maybe they bounce back today. Peterson, the lefty, versus Bumgarner, the lefty, on the mound today. Slight favorite depending on where you're shopping. 112 here, 110 in another book. An over-under of 8.5, even some shops showing an 8. Keep in mind, it's the afternoon in the desert. The roof will be closed in this one. But I have to tell you, starting off here, sort of leaning on that Arizona Diamondbacks team total here. I think they can hit a little bit today, Jason. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I agree. And they knocked out Peterson earlier. I think it was this month or last month in May. They knocked him out in 1.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 walks. And there was an absolute disaster for Peterson there. So obviously, the Diamondbacks could do well against Peterson. And Bumgarner, I saw in the chat, D Nice even said there, 6-0 versus the Mets. So our chat helping us out with the analysis there. But he's right. Bumgarner has pitched well versus the Mets, and I know this firsthand. The Mets lineup really not too great against lefties so far this year. So yeah, I do like the Diamondbacks here as the slight favorite or slight underdog wherever you look. But I would look at the first 5 and not worry about what goes on with the bullpens, because it could be a dead disaster either way now looking at it.
Yeah, and actually the Mets lineup day to day now getting a little bit better, where you see some of these guys coming back in the lineup. I mean, Pilar's nothing great, but at least it's a major league player. You're not just pulling Cameron Maben off the street to hit in the 3-hole for you. So at least it's getting a little bit better. Kyle, before I throw it to you, some big doings here at sportsbookreview.com. Yes, that's $20,000 in Bitcoin up for grabs in our competition right here. If you need more details, see the top of the chat box right there. It's pinned. Click on that SBR Sports Picks logo. That'll take you right to the Major League Baseball promo. The good part about it is, oh my God, I missed it. Kyle, we missed it, guys. We missed it. No. It doesn't start till the 14th. So read up on it. Get acquainted with it. You can take down some serious cash. And the good part about it is, it's free. There's no obligation behind it. Not telling you to send in $500 and get in this tournament here. $20,000 up for grabs all summer long throughout Major League Baseball season. And also thank you guys. 86,300 people have now hit the subscribe button right here at sportsbookreview.com. Hit that subscribe button. Turn the notification bells on. Why? So you can hear Kyle give a breakdown of the Diamondbacks and the Mets this afternoon.
That's right. And I got to tell you, I wish I was a fly on the wall when that was happening for the Mets last night in Jason's house, because I can only imagine. Oh my goodness.
I was just quiet. I couldn't say anything.
I when I saw it happening, I just couldn't believe my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, Jason, I hope that he's taking his blood pressure medication, which he probably doesn't need because he's nice and young.
I'm here.
And healthy. So this one's interesting, right? Like, yeah, I agree. Arizona should be able to get to Peterson, but let's not forget Bumgarner. I know after, that no-hitter and he got off to a nice start, he's been absolutely terrible. And the Mets lineup, in my opinion, profiles better today. Yeah, I mean, you're just looking at the righties up and down the board. Alonso's back in the lineup. Lindor's actually been hitting the ball a little bit. Even McCann has a 53% advantage. He's got 51 fantasy points in his last 3 games. Pilar. So I'm looking at the Mets at a plus number, a division leading Mets against a basement dweller in the Diamondbacks, and I'm getting the basement dweller as the favorite. I think the Mets are certainly a live dog tonight. You can do far worse for a plus money play tonight. So I'll ride the underdog here and take the Mets today.
Yeah, loading up right-handed bats is obviously what both of these squads are going to do, because it's 2 lefties on the mound. The one thing I have been very tough on McCann for the Mets this year, but the one thing he's been pretty good against left-handed pitching. And then you flip it over to Arizona, not maybe household names, but check some of these statistics out here versus lefties. Carson Kelly, a 506 weighted on base average. Marte, 566. Escobar, 363. Walker, 357. Ahmed, 365. They have the chance to do some damage. You don't have to do a lot. The FanDuel Sportsbook listed here at 4 minus 122. And if you want to buy it down, which I did, MGM Sportsbook, 3.5 minus 130. Get the 4 runs and you cash that ticket out in the desert today. It'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. So keep in mind on that value play card, something up my sleeve. Keep going. 967, 968, 8 o'clock tonight. Boston and Houston. Pivetta and Valdez, the lefty on the mound. 146 showing up here in New Jersey. 140 offshore. 9s across the board. When I look at both of these lineups, I do like them. But Jason, I have to tell you, I like Houston's lineup here, and I think Pivetta's leaking a little bit of oil. No reason to believe Houston can't score some runs tonight, at least from my perspective. What are you looking at here?
It's been so weird with Pivetta. I think he started 10 games. Yeah, the Red Sox have won 9 of them, and he still has a 3.86 ERA. Nothing fantastic there. But, yeah, I mean, the last 30 days, his last 43 plate appearances against the lefties, 418 weighted OBA, and an ISO of 289. So lefties are getting to him. Now, you're looking at the lefties in the lineup. You're probably just going to get Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker. The rest will be righties, but those righties in the Astros lineup, they do hit righties well. To begin with, Altuve, Correa, McCormick, they're all guys that do well against righties in the first place. So I do agree with the Astros here. Framber Valdez getting a second start of the season. He was so good last year. I'm not ready to put money on Valdez yet because we know he's not going to go deep in any game. And the reality is he just has one start. So you just don't know what you're going to get from him. But if you saw if you get what we saw last year, you're going to get a really good pitcher in Valdez. So I do like the Astros here. The full game, the first 5 around minus 145. Anytime you get the Astros minus 150 or better in this position with Valdez on the mound, I agree with it.
Yeah, taking a look at Pivetta here, xFIP around 4.76, but also he does have a decent strikeout number. 26% of the batters that he's faced this year, he has struck out. But Kyle, when we take a look at this Astros lineup in 2021, they don't strike out a lot and they walk a lot, which means the ball's getting put in play, high weighted on base average to righties, some high ISO power numbers. Astros look like they're rounding in form at the plate. And look, 2 good baseball teams are going to go at it here. I just don't trust Nick Pivetta as much here on the road. But of course, I don't even have to look. I'm just going to say the roof is going to be closed in Houston. So maybe a little bit of a damper on that, but no reason to believe that they can't hit tonight. I like the Astros side better than Boston. What are you thinking here in this game down in the South?
Yeah, we're all on the same page. I completely agree with you. And you got to expect, right? So it's Valdez's second start now since being back. They're probably going to let him go just a little bit deeper into the game. Now, I will say Boston has had the better bullpen this year than Houston has, and you are getting a 3.5 on Boston's team total, which I almost considered for the value menu early on. Just anytime you get those righties, Bogarts, Martinez, etc., with a 3.5 at minus 120, it's something I want to take a look at. I actually like both teams' team total. I think the Boston team total is live. I think the Houston team total is live. I think the over in the game is live. If you're picking a side, I do prefer Houston here. I agree with Jason and Donnie, first 5 and full time. I think Houston does have this slight advantage here, but both teams' team totals are in play. And I mean, obviously, we wish the roof would be open, but for whatever reason, they just don't do it. It's just so frustrating. But I'll lean the over 9 in this game as well. I think we see runs in this game. You can stack both lineups, I think, in DFS as well. I do have some Kyle Tucker exposure, too, on that little home run list. You got a nice number on that. Slightly into the Astros, but I like both teams' team totals here, and especially Boston's. Of course, it's just a little bit easier on the mind to take a 3.5 than a 4.5. Over 3.5 minus 120 makes some sense to me.
Yeah, getting that 5th number, as we all know, a little bit tough at times to get. But taking a look at Pivetta's last 5 outings, he's gone no more than 6 innings, which is fine. He's had 3 starts with 6 innings, 2 starts with 5 innings. But here's when you take a look at why you like team totals and why they make sense. Because if you have a 3.5, 4.5 number, you're always going to be in the ballgame. Pivetta, 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 4 earned runs. So it's not a shutdown pitcher where it's probably going to go 7 innings, no earned run, and you're up in flames. If he has a good start, we're probably looking at 6 innings, 3 earned runs, which leaves you with 7, 8, and 9 to try to tack on and maybe get to extra innings if he has a very good start. So we'll see what happens down in Houston in that respect. Let's keep going out west. St. Louis Cardinals getting some bad news on Flaherty as their A1 starting pitcher. Martinez is going to take the hill. Same type of profile for me as I look, Jason, for what we were looking at Gant yesterday. Gant a little bit better ERA-wise because obviously Martinez at a 4.22, but sooner or later, these Sierra numbers at close to 5, somebody's got to hit somebody. Maybe the Dodgers come back tonight, but we're looking at a 240 to 225 price as a huge favorite on the Dodgers. 8s across the board. Buehler, to me, the better pitcher. Dodgers better lineup, but you still got to go out there and hit the ball.
Yeah, I love Bueller, and he's been terrific the last couple of games. I think just one earned run in the last 2 starts, so he's been really good, pretty much unhittable. Might allow some power to righties, which of course the Cardinals have some power from the right side. But the reality is, Carlos Martinez, in his last 40 plate appearances against the lefties, a 358 weighted OBA and an ISO of 176. Now against righties, 33 plate appearances, so not as many against lefties, but a 234 weighted OBA and an ISO of .077. So he's really getting hit by lefties. The problem is here, the Dodgers, they have Max Muncy. He's the big lefty in the lineup. He'll destroy. So there's a home run threat right there if you guys want a home run prop. But outside of that, they'll have Bellinger there, another guy that obviously has home run potential, but we haven't seen it just yet. And you have Lux and McKinstry, and they haven't really done too much either. So it's hard to back the Dodgers here. But with Bueller on the mound, I think the Cardinals won't score anything. So even if you're looking at like the Dodgers to score 3 runs and win the game 3-0, that's real. That there's potential there. So I do like the Dodgers. They can obviously get on with the bullpen for the Cardinals. Martinez won't last the entire game. So even if they can get 1 or 2 runs, they can get 2 or 3 more runs against the bullpen and hit their team total. I like the Dodgers here. I think they win pretty handedly, minus 1.5, but it might not come against Martinez unless it's Max Muncy for the most part.
8 across the board here, Kyle, in this game out west at Dodger Stadium. Martinez and Bueller. Which way are you looking in this matchup?
I'm going completely opposite. Carlos Martinez is an absolute can. He is
against lefties
can. And the Dodgers versus righties, we're getting a team total of over 4.5 at minus 120 against Carlos bleeping Martinez. Are you kidding me? That's my official play of the day. And you want my bold prediction? I do think Bellinger gets off the schneid tonight. I do like the home run prop for Cody Bellinger tonight. This is exactly what the doctor ordered Carlos Martinez. You look at his last 3 starts against the Dodgers. I'm going to give you his fantasy point totals. You guys ready? 4, 3, 1. That's correct. 8 points in 3 starts. He's been absolutely smashed by this team. They are going to smash him tonight. Someone asked in the chat, what hitting stacks do I like? I like the Dodgers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hitters with 24% advantages or better when 3-year OPS. I love Bueller in DFS as well. I think you can shut down this Cardinals lineup. It's actually the lowest weighted 3-year OPS against the opposing team with those early games canceled is for Bueller at .514. Love me some Dodgers. Love me a Bellinger home run prop. I don't even mind the Justin Turner home run prop at plus 450. I couldn't find the number for Bellinger. I could find the number for Turner at plus 450. Bellinger, Turner home run, Dodgers over 4.5 official play. They rock and roll on the Cardinals tonight.
There you go. Before we get to the value menu wagers that we're going to bring up in a moment, since we do have a short card, a little bit of extra time today, I do have an off-topic stance here in Major League Baseball I want to get your guys' opinion on. If you're around Twitter this morning, John Heyman tweeted out that Major League Baseball is interested because the balls are doctored and the strikeouts and the low scoring. Let me do a nice little editorial here for us. Why don't the only sport in the world that says everybody likes scoring. You don't want 14 to 13, but we like more scoring than not in action on the field. So let's take a season that was short, rushed, but exciting at the plate, dumb down the baseballs, watch nothing happen, extend the games where they're 4 hours now, and then go, what happened, guys? We de-juiced the baseball. Nobody's scoring. How could this happen? Go back to last year. Let them doctor the baseball all they want on the mound, but put the juice baseballs back in so when they make a mistake, it goes 375 feet, not 330 feet. Give me your opinion here on this, Jason, where baseball is like, what happened? Yeah. How did we get here?
Look, those who watched the show last year, we were killing it on the overs, the team total overs. Those were lots of fun. I agree. They should go back to those baseballs. That would be a lot more fun. And, it's the game has been a little bit weird right now. We've had so many no-hitters. That's just not what I think really baseball really wants. And not even the pitchers want that either. So because once they achieve that no-hitter, they want it to be historic and they want it to be, something, special. But now that 6 guys already have it within 2 months of the season, it's not nearly as special.
And by the way, Kyle, if we can equate it to the NBA, it would be like last year in the bubble, like, whoa, man, guys were scoring, getting up and down the court. Let's make the rims tighter, put them like they're outside with the triple rim, and also make them like smaller in circumference, like they're a carnival game. Yeah, that'll be great. 64-59 final in the NBA. What happened out here? Why is this?
Yeah, they may as well just get rid of the shot clock, right? Like they used to in the day, and you'd have games that would be like 8-4 back in 1952. It was 8-4 after a full 40. I mean, baseball's just stupid. The people who make these decisions are so dumb. First of all, why in the hell would we ever want a pitcher to hit? It's the worst thing in all of pro sports, maybe besides the offsides rule in soccer, which I just think is dumber than shit. Bring back I'm a proponent of steroids. I think baseball started to suck as soon as they got rid of steroids and started demonizing all of our heroes. We want runs. We want points. We want hitters. We don't want more no-hitters than 3 home run games. That's just absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know why these brain-dead morons running baseball who are just caught up in their old-timey ways, these are the guys that, they want the stores to be closed at 8 and they don't want you to be able to buy booze on Sundays. Like, if you want to live that way, move to Utah, enjoy your time in Salt Lake City. It drives me absolutely up a wall. The sooner these guys get the hell out of baseball and out of our way, the better off we're all going to be.
No, exactly. Like to Kyle's point here, take the steroids out of the humans and put them back in the baseballs. I mean, what's
Exactly.
so hard about this?
I say put them in
Robert
both.
Essa, dumbing down the ball caused a record number of Ks. You don't notice the Ks when the mistake pitches end up on the warning track instead of the seats. You give me a game with 17 strikeouts, but 4 home runs and 7 runs scored. I'll take that each and every night because at least I'm seeing action. When it's a 2-1 pitch dead center and you pop it up like, oh, he got a good piece of that, and it lands at the warning track, that ball should be in the seats, and then the pitcher will be out of the game much sooner. But that's neither here nor there. It's always nice talking a little bit off topic. But the fact that Major League Baseball is scratching their head going, we can't figure this out. We made it harder to score, and now nobody's scoring. What's going on out here? Anyway, let's get to some value menu wagers. Start with one of mine first. We already went over it. It's going to start in under an hour. And I do like the Arizona Diamondbacks team total. Before the show, was sitting here at the FanDuel Sportsbook at 4, -122. But I took it at MGM at 3.5 at -130. So if you're looking to jump in, look, BetMGM is not some local book out here. It's in just as many states as FanDuel is. So if you have FanDuel, you're doing yourself a disservice not to spin around and get as many booking options as possible. Value menu wager for me, I think 4 runs will be scored by Arizona. That's where I'm going with that bet. Jason, take it away. Where's that value at here on the fast food menu card?
Yeah, guess who's outside today? Of course, once a week.
I thought it was me. I thought it was me, but it's not me.
No,
yes.
He
it's
took
me.
the Mets last night. He's going to sit right next to Jason.
I was on mute for a while, but so I apologize for the noise outside. Anyway, the A's versus Mariners game, Chris Flexen on the mound for the Mariners against Sean Manaea. The Mariners actually hit lefties pretty well this season in the last 30 days. Flexen 5-2 on the year. And now, look, there's no Laureano in the Athletics lineup either. So I think the Mariners plus 1.5. Even if they lose, you get that plus 1.5 at -135. I think there's a lot of value there for the Mariners. I know a couple of people in the chat already talked about the Mariners. I agree. I think the Mariners are an upset potential team here, and just take that plus 1.5. Don't even worry if they win. Just get that extra run, and should be fine there.
By the way, Kyle, real quick here, offside rule to bring it up in soccer. If we like to equate it to basketball. Imagine getting a rebound and nobody can leave before the defense gets all the way back, and then you start your fast break.
Nothing pisses me off more than talking to a soccer fan and having them try to defend the offside rule. Nothing will piss me off more. Like, okay, so I want to sit for 95 straight minutes or 90, whatever bullshit they say in the extra time, right? Well, whatever. Sometimes it's 8 minutes. Sometimes
the
it's 4.
Champions League final was unbelievable.
Yeah.
1-0.
We have no. Yeah, 1-0. Like, I honestly, there's so many things I'd rather do that are inappropriate to say on this show.
Oh, that's great.
Get rid of the offsides rule. Next thing you know, it's 4-3, 5-4. Like, you can't even take advantage of your speed. It's absolutely ludicrous. Anyways, I digress.
Yep.
So some value wagers I have today. I took the Twins -0.5 in the first 5 at +100, basically even money. Look, it's Harvey and Dobnak. Neither one of these pitchers are anything to write home about, but I love to fade Matt Harvey, and we're talking about a Baltimore Orioles team who's won 18 damn games. The Twins have finally started to come around. I like the Twins lineup more. 2 pitchers on the mound. I'll take the better lineup, and I'll take the plus money in the first 5. With the Twins, I also like the no runs first inning in the Miami-Toronto game. I'm going to go back to the well again today. Manoah was really, really good in his first start. I believe it was against the Yankees, right, when we talked about it. Now he's getting this Miami lineup. I actually like him a lot on DraftKings as well at 7,600. And then, of course, for Miami, you have Lopez, who's also been very solid and should be able to get through those first 3 hitters there. So I like the no runs first inning on that. And we talked about the home run props. Justin Turner, if you can't find the Bellinger at plus 450, is a fine alternative. But I really like Cody Bellinger to get off the schneid tonight.
All right, let's flip it down here. Best bets on the Major League Baseball card. I'll start once again, and I am in action tonight. Let's see if we get winner number 19 on the season here, matched up with only 9 losses. I'm going to head down to Atlanta, and why not? What a crazy game yesterday. If you said, hey, Strasburg's out by the first inning, they are going to get torched. Not so fast. The Washington lineup comes to play, as most teams come to play down in Atlanta. Good hitting weather again, about 80 degrees, only a light wind blowing tonight. And if we take a look at Smiley, who, in Kyle's words, is an absolute gas can on the mound today, a 5.25 xFIP, getting torched by both lefties and righties. He'll see his fair share of righties tonight. Take a look at these weighted on base averages expected in the lineup for those Washington Nationals. 466 Turner, Harrison 393, Soto 365, Zimmerman 386, Castro 320, Schwarber 367, Gomes 369, Robles 327. We're all above average. It's ready to get after it and eat. 2 choices you can make tonight. If you want it to FanDuel Sportsbook, it was 4.5 at plus 102 earlier. But of course, BetMGM, 3.5, minus 145. 4 runs gets it done. 9 at-bats in Atlanta versus Smiley in that bullpen. Kick it off, baby. Play of the day. Sign up for it. Washington Nationals, team total over 3.5. Go ahead, Jason.
I'm on the other side here. I'm on the Braves over 4.5 on the team total. The Braves, they've smacked lefties in the last 30 days. If you look at their lineup, the worst guy in that lineup outside of Almonte, he hasn't faced a lefty. If you look at the lineup, Dansby Swanson actually has the worst average against lefties in the last 30 days, and it's a 280 average. Combined, the lineup is hitting 340, I think, with like 13 home runs against lefties in the last 30 days. So they've been really, 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 really good against lefties and should be able to get to Lester and knock him out early. But like Donnie says, it's always good to have a running partner as well.
Yes.
So you get that 3-3 game, 4-4 game. That's always really fun. And I do think the Nationals have a chance to get their over as well. They the thing is with them, when it comes down to the lefties, they were a lot better in April than May against lefties. We'll see if June changes that. But a lot of guys with high weighted OBAs, just not so much power. So we'll see what happens there. I do think both teams get the over. So obviously he likes the Washington. I like Atlanta. So if you want to take that full game over, definitely think that hits as well. I know that went up from 9.5 to 10, but I still like that as well, especially with 17 runs in the other game. But that's my one play, the Braves over 4.5 on the team total at minus 145.
I like it too because of the 3 games that made it to my final card today. Arizona's team total, Washington's team total, and Atlanta's team total. So yes, seeing down there, we should just get the over in that game, rightfully so. And as Jason says, so many people that bet games have the opposite perspective. Let's just say, like, Jason would be happy in the first inning if the Nationals post 3 runs, because then again, you're saying to yourself, like, okay, I want the Nationals to get the 4 runs. Why? That means no matter what happens, I'm getting my full 9 at-bats at home. So many people look say, oh, I should have just taken the other side. No, you got a running mate now. You got something to reach for you. So always food for fodder in an over. If you see a team 1-0, it's the game slows down. One team starts to run away, and even if the Nationals get up 13-0 in the first 3 innings, you're not seeing any bullpen from their side. You can tack on those runs late. Kyle, let's get to some best bets and bankers from your perspective. Where are we going tonight?
Real quick, could you imagine watching the Super Bowl and Patrick Mahomes hits Tyreek Hill for an 80-yard touchdown and they call it back because, oh, no, he was behind all the defenders. He is too fast and the defenders couldn't keep up, so we're taking the touchdown away. That's how stupid quit trying to piss me off in the chat with this offsides crap, because that's absolute garbage and the dumbest thing in all of sports besides maybe a pitcher hitting. On to my best pick and banker. It's a Dodgers team total over 4.5 at minus 120. I think they absolutely smash Martinez. It won't shock me if they get this done in the first 3 innings. So that's my one official play today. Just one. Dodgers team total over 4.5. Although I was very close to taking the Nationals as well. Like Donnie said, I like both of those team totals as well.
Should be pretty solid stuff here. The odds lightning round. Lightning, crash, bolts, clouds. Let's get after it tonight. And when we segue into it, it's always a perfect game to start with Matt Harvey on the mound. Crashing, thunderbolts, balls leaving the stadium. Usually happens against Harvey. Jason, looking at this game between Dobnak and Harvey, minus 144 here in New Jersey. 4, Minnesota's a favorite. 135 offshore. 10s showing up here. You know what? It's a high number, but are we going under in a Harvey start? Absolutely not.
No way.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the Twins, they blew it yesterday. They really did not perform how we expected. And the Orioles, they hit the ball. So I do agree. I think the over would be a good look in this game. But I do think the Twins bounced back. And Dobnak did not perform that well in his last start. But I do expect him to get back on track just a little bit more than Harvey. Of course, Harvey's been a can, like Kyle says. So I do agree with the over, but I do think the Twins also win in the first 5 innings.
All right, keep it moving down. And by the way, Kyle, also hockey did away. Like, hockey doesn't get much right, but they did away with the 2-line passing. So now you don't have to pass it 3 feet in front of you with a left wing lock from the Devils. Open it up. We're bashing the
huge improvement, right? And what a huge improvement. No one would take it back the other way, right? Nobody in their right damn mind besides like Gordie Howe would take it back the other way. So I'm just,
Tampa Bay and the New York Yankees is your game here, Kyle. Lefty on lefty crime here. McClanahan and Montgomery. Wake up the Yankees. Huge win yesterday. Does this propel them to a World Series championship now, Kyle?
No, I don't think so. And I'm going to actually take the Rays money line plus 110 in the first 5 innings. Look, I think McClanahan's better than Montgomery. I know New York finally woke up and scored more than 1 run or 0 runs before the first 5 innings yesterday, but I just don't see it. So I'm going to take that plus 110 in the money line. I think McClanahan's very fairly priced on DraftKings. I believe he's 7,200. Let me double check that. 7,600 on FanDuel, 7,100 FanDuel, 7,600 on DraftKings. He's been pitching well, 5 innings in each of his last 3 starts. Rays are a better team for me. I still don't trust the Yankees. I will take the Rays plus money in the first 5 on the money line, plus 110.
Both of these teams don't profile well versus left-handed pitching, so we'll see how it plays out here in the Bronx, but a big win. Keep in mind also Lou Gehrig Day here in the Bronx, as it is across Major League Baseball, so maybe a little bit of emotion in the stadium today. Big doings here.
Cares
good
there.
Good on Major League Baseball for showing this up, because obviously ALS in the forefront now. Find a cure for that. It's good to see that baseball actually took it and said, you know what, let's make a day out of it to bring everybody's attention in. Hopefully they can get a cure on that here. Miami and Toronto here, Jason, for you. Lopez versus Manoah in that tiny ballpark, Salem Field up in Buffalo. And would anybody be able to stop young Vladito at the plate here, making a charge? Shohei Ohtani, get out. Vlad's coming for you, Jason. What do you think in this game?
I'm not so sure I love these offenses in this particular game. Lopez and Manoah looked really good in his first start, had a lot of strikeouts. And, I wouldn't want to bet against him right now. But also Lopez, he's 1-3 on the year, but also has a 2.71 ERA. So, he's not getting any wins for having some really good starts. So it shows you how the Marlins are not scoring runs for him. So I do like the under 4.5 in the first 5. And I still think the Blue Jays in the first 5 at minus 0.5 is the way to go there. But I don't think there's going to be many runs in the first couple innings of this game. So we'll have to see what happens in that ballpark.
Quick phone call here. I'm going to make to Toronto here. Hello. Yes, I'd like to report a missing person. Who is that? George Springer. Haven't seen him all year. Anybody know where he's at? No, you don't? Okay, well. Good job. Anytime you want to get in that lineup, I'd be more than happy to start really pounding away on the Blue Jays team total overs, specifically with them playing in Buffalo. Keep it moving forward. Texas and Colorado. Out in Colorado, Lyles and Senzatella. Finally, hey, about this? 9.5 yesterday, 11s now across the board. Do you want to back either one of these lineups here, Kyle, with that number? I don't know.
No, this is the thing. I'm looking at their team totals, too. They're both at 5.5. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's warm weather. It's Colorado. It's slightly. I mean, Senzatala's okay, and Lyles is okay. But I don't know. I'm looking at this Colorado lineup, man. I'm like, I don't see a lot that I like here. And they have a team total at 5.5. I'm going to take the under 5.5 team total. I don't know. I think maybe I've said that once on the show. Under 5.5 Rockies team total. Yeah, I can't. When I see a 5.5, I'm already inclined to take the under. And then it's Colorado's lineup. Here's the negative advantages we're looking at. -14, -24, -15, -35. -45. Under 5.5 runs for the Rockies is the only. I'm completely staying away from this game. As far as I'm concerned, it's not even happening, and it may as well not. I can't imagine being a fan and like, oh, I'm going to watch the Rockies and the Rangers today. It's like you may as well go like, you know, go skydiving without a parachute. I mean, I don't understand what the hell you're doing here, but I'll take the under 5.5 on the Rockies.
I mean, Kyle, talk to me about soccer. Like, they dribble it all the way up and get into the box offensively, and then they end up kicking it back to their own goalie way back and resetting. I mean, what are we doing here? But anyway, let's keep moving here. Oakland and Seattle. Manahan flexing for you here, Jason. What do we talk? Oh, I thought Oakland would be able to hit last night. Boy, they did. So are we looking at more of the same tonight with those Oakland bats?
Yeah, Flexen has been pretty bad against righties in his last 43 plate appearances. 435 weighted OBA, ISO 179, also 178 ISO to lefty. So he's getting hit with some pop. But like I said earlier, Laureano going to be out of the lineup. He's hurt. So there's not too many righties in the lineup now when you're looking at this Athletics team. So if you look at the Mariners, they're going up against Manaea, and they actually have some bats in the lineup that can do damage against him. Haniger has already had tons of success against him. You also have Seager, Murphy, Nottingham. They've all hit lefties pretty well the last 30 days or so. So I think there's potential there for the Mariners at plus 1.5, like I said earlier, as my fast food play at minus 135. Again, Flexen, he's 5-2 in 9 starts. So while he hasn't been great, he's still 5-2, just so to show you that the Mariners are scoring runs when he's on the mound, and he's keeping the Mariners in games. So now if you're staying in a game, you get the Mariners plus 1.5 in a game that's going to be close. I don't see why not take that Mariners plus 1.5 if you want to stay up for it on the East Coast.
Dan says DFS Bachelor is a legend. Yes, a legend in his own mind. As we take a look here, bottom of the third inning here in Chicago, nobody scored yet. So if you take a look at the live totals here, the Cubs, who don't have any outs in the bottom of the third, 2.5 plus 110. How about those Padres? A 2 at minus 113. If we're going to get into the territory, we're in the 6th inning, and San Diego's at a 1 with plus money. Check in a little bit later here, but we are going to clear the bases before we get out of here and wrap up what we like on today's card. I'll start with myself first. Value menu play coming up here in just a few moments. 3.5 minus 130 on the Arizona Diamondbacks team total. Best bet and banker on the card for me tonight. Those Washington Nationals, 3.5. And the juice on that one, minus 145 at BetMGM. If you look at the FanDuel Sportsbook, you can probably get a 4.5 plus 102 plus 100 in that range. But give me the 4 in the win. Jason, what do you got tonight? Recap.
Yeah, so again, the Mariners plus 1.5. That's the fast food play of the day. And of course, I'm on the opposite side of Donnie and Kyle. I'm on the Braves over 4.5 on the team total at minus 145. It's a little bit higher in terms of a team total compared to the Nationals, but the Braves, they've hit really well at home already this season, and they've done really well against lefties. So again, they'll have a running partner just like Donnie always talks about, and should easily be able to hit enough, probably get 5 runs within the first 5 innings, and that would be great for tonight.
Kyle, what you got here? Clear the bases. What are we on tonight?
All right, so the value menu, we're going to take the Twins minus 0.5 in the first 5 at a little plus money and hopefully avoid the push there. We're going to be risky and swing for those fences. No condoms, folks. I'm going to take the Nerfy Miami Toronto. I think we get no runs first inning in that as well. Love the Cody Bellinger home run prop. I couldn't find a number on that, so that's why I offered up the Turner one at plus 450. I just couldn't find it. I kept looking through, and it kept giving me Justin Turner and not Cody Bellinger, and I'm sure I could get an even juicier number. But that Turner one, if you can't find Bellinger at plus 450, hits righties very well, and Martinez is a total can. And, of course, my best bet and banker of the day is the Dodgers team total over 4.5 minus 120. I won't be shocked if they get there before the 3rd inning.
You know, interesting stuff, too, as well. And a lot of these sports books here that we go over, they give a lot of good bonuses. Jason will tell you about MGM. Even FanDuel does the same thing. Odds boost tonight, Atlanta Braves and the Dodgers to win in a 2-team parlay. If you bet $50, you get a plus 175 return back on that, which is better than if you just bet it plain at plus 128. So there's always those opportunities out there just to have a little bit of fun. But we will bet tonight. We're going to win money tonight. I feel good. So thank you guys for tuning in on Wednesday, spending a little time with us, bashing Michael Jordan, bashing soccer. You never know what you're going to get on the baseball show here at sportsbookreview.com. I'm Donnie Seymour for Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. Thanks once again for tuning in to the Major League Baseball show right here at sportsbookreview.com. Good luck on those wagers.